Whoops. Hello everyone, happy Sunday. I come to you after a nap and a no makeup Sunday, so I try to always keep it as real as I possibly can, and this is just one example. I'm so excited because I almost always get more private messages than I do what actually gets posted, and that's okay because some people are just more private about it, and that's perfectly okay. On the weekends, I can generally get back to everyone faster than I can during the week. For those that are close to me, you know I teach, and then I'm also going to school to get my master's degree. So this is just something that I wanted to keep maybe everybody together that wanted to start, because the number one question is I want to start, and how do I actually start doing keto? So this is my first live. I've never done one before, but I went ahead and posted some of my how-to videos in the group that tells you about macros, what macros are, setting your macros. Macros is I like to journal my food, and I generally tend to have the most successful weeks when I do journal it. Probably the hardest thing about starting keto is I think we've all kind of been programmed to don't eat high fat, stay away from high fat foods that will gain weight. It's really bad for us. And you know what? It's scientifically just not true. So, I see several people on. Hello. Rough game. I see my friend Jeff is watching. I still have my Bears shirt on. But anyhow, people want to see how they get started. So, you have to wrap your brain. I was talking to one of my friends, Michelle, and she's probably going to hop on here shortly, who's been doing keto now for a couple of months. And it really is the hardest thing to do, to realize that you have to eat higher fats. Keto truly is high fat, moderate protein, low carb. I can honestly say the number one mistake that I see people make that have contacted me and wanted to know how, what am I doing wrong? I'm not losing weight. And it's usually because there's not enough fat and there's too much protein. Too much protein can backfire on a ketogenic diet, and it can stall your weight. And it's how we actually digest it. So I don't want to get into all that till maybe we get a few days into our month-long challenge. I can truly and honestly say the first couple days can sometimes be the most difficult because you're kind of going through a carb withdrawal. So I would absolutely say you want to have, I've got some notes here. You want to have eggs, you want to have avocados, you want to have bacon, you want to make sure you have butter. I keep it simple. I would stay away from like all the fancy recipes. The fancy recipes, the carbs do add up. So until you're really used to it, I would stick away from the recipes. I would think of your plate as having a meat and a vegetable and fat all over it, okay? So 75% of your plate should be vegetables, and about 25% of your plate should be protein. And then you should use some sort of oil. I've been majorly into avocado oil over olive oil, but avocado oil, olive oil, coconut oil, all really good. And I know people have heard about MCT oil. I'll probably introduce that in a few days, not right away. Let's kind of get through those first 3 days of our sugar detox and our carb detox. So I would make sure that you have, when you think of your meats, you really want to think of like chicken that has the dark meat. That's the fattier meat. You want to think of your beef. Salmon is really good. But just truly keep it simple. I use a lot of butter and garlic powder to season things, or onion powder. Seriously keep it simple. On my macros video, I do talk about the app I use to journal my food. You can use any app. Like I'm not even sure how I ended up using that app. But that's the one I use. I did pay for it. I want to say it's like either $4.99 or $5.99 one-time fee. But it does calculate net carbs. I've heard there's a way for MyFitnessPal to calculate net carbs. I've never used it. When I tried to use it, there wasn't a way to do it. So I would say you want to tonight, to set yourself up for success, is plan out your meals for tomorrow. You know, hi, Julie. You don't want to go over 20 net carbs in any day. And then you do your macros. I'm not going to go through that, but have your macros set. If you have questions, you can post them, or you can send me a private message. I have them written up and I have the video. So either way, it is really super simple, but you need to make sure you hit the macros. One of the questions I had from someone the other day was, can I go over? If you're going to go over anything, especially starting, it should be your fats and nothing else. And then I had somebody say, well, can I be under something? Like, I don't know that I want to eat that much. You always want to hit your fats. You can be under your protein and you can be under your carbohydrates. So setting up those macros first is going to be super, super key to make sure that you are successful. I'm trying to think. There's been people that's asked what kind of, are there different foods that we can buy? I see there's keto this and keto that. For the love of anything, I wouldn't buy anything that says keto or low carb. Until you're used to reading the labels and knowing what to stay away from, I would absolutely not. There's just too many things out there that we can't do. And when we put ourselves into being keto, we are literally retraining our bodies, because we are born that way. You are retraining your bodies to burn your own body fat, opposed to too many carbs that sets off blood glucose and uses carbs for fuel instead of what you already have. So I would absolutely look, or, post and ask, can I use this? Can I use that? But I always feel like I'm like the big meanie that's like, no, that's a no, we can't do it. Until you're used to looking at labels. I have no problem, looking at it and giving you an answer, but you would have to actually show me the ingredients as well as the nutrition label. Let's see. There's that. Some people will also tell you, do not eat anything sweet, even if it's a keto sweet. A lot of people, like I made keto chocolate chip cookies, but they have 3 carbs in them. So it's like if I even have 2 or 3 cookies, by the time I have 3, I'm almost at half my day. So you still need to be careful. And even though, so when you eat keto, you really tend to, your cravings for sweets go away. That's why I say the first 3 days, I used to be such a main hardcore sweet person that it was really hard. Giving up bread was hard. Giving up pasta was hard. But after your first 3 or 4 days, your cravings diminish and you're just not as hungry. Probably one of the biggest things that hit at home was when my husband was like, that's all you're going to eat? I'm like, I'm so full I could die. You may end up buying different things to get started, but over time, my grocery bill goes down because you're not as hungry. Your body is this fat burning machine. And when you don't eat the, sugar's so bad for us and tricks us into thinking we're so hungry when we're really not. But the problem is, even if you use Swerve, which is like a diabetic's sugar that we can use, even tasting it, your taste buds will want more. So even if you're not hungry, we have all had that feeling before where we're like, I'm not really hungry, but I can't stop eating. And sugar is a huge culprit for that, or anything that causes a blood sugar spike in your body. So up to you. Some people are going to say don't do it at all. I'm not going to say I didn't do it at all. I kind of feel like I'm the kind of person that was like, I have to have a taste or I'm going to fall off the deep end. And I didn't want to fall off the deep end. So I made my fat bombs. If you want to see fat bomb recipes, be careful going to Pinterest until you really know what you can and can't have. But if you want to join, if you're not in my group already, Healthiness is Happiness, I have all those types of recipes on there. And I'm sure over the next month, I'll be sharing them here in this group. Trying to think what else. Do what you do to get through it. Look at your labels. There's 3 lists that I posted on here just about 15-20 minutes ago. And 2 of the lists were what can you eat and what can't you eat. So it's a good guideline of maybe different things to choose from to eat for, your first couple days. I'm going to guess everybody has them. Maybe not the avocados, but everybody's got eggs. Everybody's probably got bacon. Everybody's probably got butter. No corn oil or any kind of vegetable oil, but you can do olive oil or coconut oil. And like I said, my new favorite is avocado oil. It is to die for, and you can cook it at a high heat, and it doesn't go bad like olive oil can. But look at your labels. The third picture that has the list on it is, I think it's 50. My friend Amy gave it to me. It's 56 different ingredients that are actually just as bad or worse than sugar. And I can tell you, maltodextrin is probably the worst one that could be in anything that you drink or eat. I say drink because, well, it's in a lot of salad dressings. I'm to the point now where I just use olive oil with some pink salt on top of it, and that's my salad dressing because it's so hard to find one that we can actually use. It seems to be something in almost every salad dressing. Those water enhancers, same thing, tons of maltodextrin. So check it out. Make sure you look at those lists. Make sure you look at what you're eating because it all matters. I see that there's several people that keep coming off and on, which is great. I'm probably going to go ahead and finish up. Please feel free to private message me any questions. It's even better if you are comfortable posting them in the discussion, because I'm guessing somebody else doesn't know. And I, by all means, don't know at all. I've been doing keto since the Monday after Thanksgiving last year, and I did it wrong for several months. Like, I didn't know about the list to look for. And so I was doing things that I would lose 10 pounds, then gain 5, and then I might lose 2 more, and then I'd gain 5. So really the same 10 pounds up and down until I really came across this awesome keto coach, and she really taught me how to do it. And she has a huge following, and she is on Facebook. And now I'm proud to say she's a personal friend of mine, and I love her. But there's just so many versions of keto out there, and so many products that say keto, or people think you can do Atkins, and Atkins has a lot of those ingredients on there. So it is very different. Some people can do the keto diet to actually gain weight or bulk up, and their macros change. To lose weight, it is the 20 net carbs a day, and then high fat and moderate protein. I believe, and of course I've never done it to gain weight, but I believe if you're trying to gain, then your protein goes up. So if you are trying to do keto to lose weight, these are the macros you would follow. So I can't wait to hear how everybody gets started. I'll probably pop on here tomorrow morning just with a kickoff. Let's, do a great job. And then if you have any questions, feel free to private message them to me, post them, and then I'll pop back on again at 5:30 tomorrow afternoon. Ooh, no, I will not. That's not true. I have parent-teacher conferences. Tomorrow night will be 7:30. It'll be late. So I'll pop on at 7:30 to see what kind of questions I can answer, and I'm going to give at least 1 to 2 tips that will help get us into ketosis and start turning our bodies into fat-burning machines. Have a happy Sunday.